What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to today's vlog. It's July 8th, the week after Speed Week. Pennsylvania Speed Week's in the books. Also, a week before that, Dan ran all of the Ohio Speedweek. I'll get the words out of my mouth. Quit acting like I got a mouthful at the back of here. But anyway, so I wanted to just jump on here and then do a little recap of the Speed Week. I'm going to get Danny in here and get his thoughts on his Speed Week since he had a big 2 weeks. So, yeah, there we go. Hi, I'm Billy Dietrich, 410 sprint car mechanic and driver. I've been around racing my whole life. It's pretty much all I know. My dad has owned a speed shop for 30 years, and I worked there with my brother, Double D, aka Danny Dietrich. I created this channel with my wife Heather behind the camera to show people what it's really like racing a 410 sprint car in central Pennsylvania. We also post sprint car tutorials, vlogs, and even some lifestyle content. Some days are good, some are bad, but they're all fun memories of a great racing life with family and friends. So like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and enjoy the ride. Yeah, boy! All right, Danny's here. He's making some notes in his laptop of all his fun racing setup shit and all the good times you had over the last 2 weeks. Danny, Speed Week, Ohio. Let's start with that, man. Like, a lot of racing out there. What'd you think of the Ohio Speed Week in general? And then we'll break down the races a little bit.
It was good. It was fun. It was nice to see different racetracks, race with the All-Stars again. I thought they did a really good job. Farmer did it. Rich did it at canceling tracks it was going to rain at, so we didn't have to drive to the tracks and then drive back to the hotel. It's kind of nice for them to keep the drivers and the race teams in mind, so we didn't get all that traveling done and then turn around and go back.
So did the All-Stars? So they only raced like one weekend before this. Do you feel like they're like finding their traction, like getting back on track here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll take just a little bit. You know, I know that through Speed Week they used a lot of like the Fremont officials and employees, I believe, from what I understand. But I think they just in general were transparent, you know, with everything that was going on, whether it be weather or, you know, timing wasn't always perfect or whatever. You know, it's just it's going to take a little time, but I thought they did a good job. Everything, you know, overseeing everything there.
Yeah. So a couple rainouts. Start the weekend out, right?
Yeah, we rained out Attica and Sharon, and then Fremont.
And then the first race was Muskegon. Is that right? Or no?
Millstream.
Millstream.
We didn't go to Muskegon. We went to Millstream.
Millstream.
That was pretty rough.
What happened?
Why
was it so rough?
I think it's funny. Yesterday I was going through my June recap on Snapchat videos, and yeah, I mean, like there's push trucks going around running the track in, and it's not even wet. I mean, we knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew what was going to happen whenever they went green the first set of warm-ups. So then you stop, and then they had to water the track and rework the track. It was, I mean, if you didn't see it coming, you're blind.
Why is it so bad there?
Just the inside track screws up the outside track. I think you just need to run the inside track and be done with it.
So for people who don't know, there's a smaller, is that a half mile? Was it like a batch?
I would call it a 4/10, the outside track. And the inside track I would call would be, I think it's bigger than a quarter, but I think they call it a quarter. It'd be more like a third. It ain't much smaller than trailways.
Okay.
It'd be like a trailways. And then you got a track that's literally right on the outside of it. It's basically one track, and there's no room between the tracks. It's one track and then the other track. One's right inside the other.
So the inside track affects the outside track as far as...
you got the banking and the corners go up. Well, then that traps all the water, because on the big track, it goes up on the straightaways, down in the corners, back up. And you got the banking of the inside track on the inside corners. So it gets trapped. You know, the water runs from the straightaways down the corners, there. Water just lays there. Nowhere for it to go. There's no drainage.
So it was rough as hell. I watched.
Yeah.
You were running okay.
Yeah, I must have hit some water you couldn't really see, or somebody sprayed some out. I never seen it, but obviously I hit it. I don't know if somebody ran through and sprayed it out. I didn't think I actually went down far enough to be in the water. But then I about hit Ryan Smith and I spun to not hitting.
So that's pretty much it.
That was it.
But you're lucky that nothing else was damaged.
Right. I think we run.
You broke a wing.
Yeah, we broke a wing in heat. It was so rough, the wing runner broke. It's just, I don't know. I wasn't excited to go there to begin with because last year we were there, it was full of rocks and dusty and dirty, and you couldn't see if you started in mid-pack. And last year when they took the green for feature, I just made the right-hand turn right off the racetrack and we went and loaded up. We got start money and, yeah.
Called it good.
Called it good.
So where was the next race?
Monday at Wayne County. It was good. Wayne County's come a long way. It really has. I mean, it may still be dusty, but I mean, it races really good in my opinion. You can get up on the fence. You can run through the middle. You can wing. I call wingless it around the bottom. It's really wide now, and they cut the infield down. It really helped the racetrack out.
That's good. And you can see.
As a race car driver, you can see.
You can see on TV too.
Yeah, it's way better. I mean, 5 years ago, nobody wanted to go. I didn't want to go there. Now it's better, for sure.
Yeah. All right, hold on here. Dad, let me go out here and help Dad out. I'll be right back. This is the way it is when you're doing videos in the shop. You just never know what kind of interruptions you might get. All right, so Wayne County, you ran pretty good.
Yeah, I think we run third.
Third, you were right there for
second or third. Third.
I forget who won, but you were like right there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, we were all right there.
Yep.
I think Cap didn't win. Who won?
I don't remember who won.
Cap ran second. Lucius won. He won the first two.
Oh yeah, that guy was fast.
Lucius won.
Yep.
He was really fast first 2 nights.
Yeah, he just checked out at Millstream.
Yeah. We were all right there. I mean, they were at the end of the race. They were definitely a little bit better than I was. What
happened in time trials when you hit the wall?
So Wayne County is like known for like being on the fence, kind of slide. You almost want to hit it, almost like straightens you up. In turn 4, it gets to the point where like when you come on the racetrack, it gets real slick. It's easy to kind of get the left rear sat down and then you spin. So if you can kind of like touch the fence, it'll straighten you up and then it shoots you straight off the corner.
But how hard?
I mean, as hard as I did.
It looked pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I hit it on a warm-up lap, which was like a test and tune. And then I hit it really hard the first lap, and then I hit it not quite as hard the second lap.
I almost feel like you punched it.
It kind of. I mean, I was trying to hit it. Yeah. It wasn't like I was trying to miss it. I was trying to hit it. I mean, obviously, my warm-up lap, I hit it.
Right.
First lap, I hit it.
Right.
You're trying to touch it without crashing. The first lap, I about crashed. 1 o'clock. Yeah. Not about crashed, but I mean, like you're flirting with it.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to do it. It used to be you had to do it in turn two.
Right.
Right. You literally run up on a banking and shoot yourself down the backstretch. Well, now, I don't know if anybody watched my heat race. I hit it and the dash, and I tabletopped it and it about crashed. It's not. You can't do it. You can't do it in turn 2 no more.
Crashing's bad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you ran good at Wayne County.
Yep.
But you're still second in points at this point in time, I think. Probably.
I didn't think over that because Lucius was leading.
That's true. He was leading. So then we go to what? Wayne's Field? Was Wayne's Field next or not? Eldora.
Yeah. Yeah, we ran out of fuel in warm-ups. We put a different fuel tank on. Pickup wasn't right on it. We didn't know that. Ran out of fuel in warm-ups with like 4 gallons in the car, which is pretty standard. We also had a caution in warm-ups too.
The 4 gallons is standard, but the running out's not.
Right. We went out with like 7 gallons of warm-ups, which is pretty normal. But then Lucius blew a right rear and hit the fence. We had a yellow.
He was done for the night.
He hit hard. So then we went back to read it. It was sputtered a little bit, and I didn't want to burn the motor down. We just got a motor the day before, and we had that motor in and didn't want to burn it down. So I pulled in. So that cost us in time trials because we didn't have the right gear in. So
then you're behind.
Just fighting from digging out of a hole. So we had a good heat. I don't remember where we finished.
Me either.
I think maybe 3rd, maybe 4th. We had a pretty good heat. We had a good start. And a feature, I think we started 13th and run 6th. No, 16th and run 6th.
Track never got like real wide, did it?
Very rough getting into 1.
Really rough.
Like
bone shaking rough.
Yes. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it ain't a USAC. It made a USAC car flip forward.
I seen that. It was bad.
Weird. Flip forward. I still don't know how that guy's doing. I think he was transported. Never heard nothing about it. But yeah, I made him flip forward. And yeah, some of these little guys, they can get through the hole better than I can.
Well, some of the guys were going even wider
Right.
around the hole, like Parker Price in his heat race, I think it was. But
Yeah.
so you got through Eldor, and then what was next? Then was Waynesfield. It's like Waynesfield was like Thursday.
Fremont, we got rained out.
Fremont was a
Which
rain
was
out.
nice because they didn't make us drive there. It rained out at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which a lot of respect for that because it's a long week. Last thing we need to do is drive an hour and a half to a track and turn around and drive an hour and a half back.
Sure.
And even getting ready for it.
Right.
So now we can get ready for Waynesfield. We run second at Waynesfield? Yeah.
I don't know, but
Parker won.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were good. Needed traffic. Parker did a really good job in traffic.
He, you closed in on him, but then you kind of
Caution.
fluffed it in the cushion or whatever down there.
And before that, I called him and the caution come out.
Yeah.
I think we were better at the end.
Yeah.
He didn't screw up in traffic. I could really sail it on the top. And yeah, I kind of screwed up with like 2 to go a little bit.
We used a Hail Mary. You had to try something.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
It looked like, from what you posted online, that Rich Farmer, he must be promoting Waynesfield. They literally busted their ass to get that show in.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it was literally misting pretty hard at lunch that day. And yeah, I mean, they busted their butts. And track ended up being really good. Really
Yep.
good.
It's a fun little track, looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Quarter-mile high banked down on one end. The other end's pretty wide and kind of flat. So you get 2 different ends, 2 different
Yep.
corners. And I've always enjoyed going there. It's fun.
So then, ran second there.
Yep.
Now the points are getting closer because Cap Henry had a little trouble, but he rebounded.
And then Friday went to Moeller.
Friday was Moeller. I didn't get to watch that, but
We dominated
Short
all
track.
night long until the feature. Quick time, won the heat, won the dash, and then they watered the bottom of the track.
so the first time for Moeller to have the All-Stars.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Maybe.
I've never
410s
even-
have definitely been there.
I've never heard of the place.
Yeah, pretty cool. Quarter mile, slick,
How was the crowd there?
as big as it could be.
Really?
Not a lot of grandstands.
Like in Path Valley?
Less
Like,
less people.
Less stands? Wow.
They're probably half the amount of people Path Valley holds.
Okay.
But I mean, they had 4 divisions or something, in the pit area.
Right.
But cool little quarter mile, raced really well. Just they watered the track and we weren't set up to run the bottom. Flat, more way flatter on the bottom. And we figured the rubber would still come back because it was already down. But when they watered the bottom and it sprayed down across the track, you couldn't get a hold of the rubber. So I just sent it around the fence for 30 laps.
So where'd you finish?
Third,
Third. Who won that?
Duncan.
Cole Duncan.
Yeah.
Not
Nate
surprised.
Dussel.
He's fast.
Yeah.
So that was Friday. So then the finale was Saturday. KC. Is that what they still call that?
Atomic.
Atomic. It was a big night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good night. I mean, we were good all night long. It's uncomfortable.
You're
Nobody's comfortable there. If you're comfortable there,
explain that to the people
it's
watching.
going into 3 and 4, going into 3, the wall kind of comes out and meets the track.
Almost looks like a ramp.
Kind of.
With a
You
U-turn.
can't. It's hard to judge where the wall meets the actual surface you need to be racing on.
Because you're going at it.
With that, and it comes in. It arches itself out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
I see
I
what
had,
you're
I think it's Dave Andrews put a green stripe on the wall to kind of know where the racing surface and the wall are actually like, okay, this is where the racing surface meets to start your corner.
Pretend this is, you don't want to be to the right of that.
Right. You get to the right of that, you knock your right rear off the wall.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to see, but it gives you early in the night. It kind of helped you judge where the corner was at. Or maybe even rolling around for heating the motor or warm ups. Before the feature, you kind of get an idea like, okay, this is where you need to be going down the straightaway. Because it's pretty easy if you get off turn 2 on the top, you could end up
Missing it.
being out, and the next thing you got to throw the car sideways about half to kind of miss the wall. But you get into turn 3 and there are 2 holes, and you get to bouncing, and you'll bounce right into the fence. Just that simple.
Crash.
Yeah, and in their holes, you're going so fast. There's so much banking. People don't understand the amount of banking at Atomic. I mean, we ain't got nothing like that here in Pennsylvania. Not even close. I mean, it's banked harder than Eldor.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're not running the top, you're in trouble.
1 and 2, they look rough.
It's a little rough getting to one. One is very, very banked, and flattens off through 2, you get to the backstretch, but it's still banked. Still very banked. It'll hold you in. I mean, you get through the holes, it'll hold you in the racetrack.
Yep. So you win the race.
Yep, won the points.
Did you lead every lap?
Yep.
Domination. And then you win the points, so you got a lot of money to win the race.
Yeah.
And you win the points.
I think we left there with like $38,000 or $37,000.
So how'd that feel after the week to win the points?
That was awesome.
Speedweek champion.
I mean, honestly, it was more rewarding than winning the PA points any year I've ever done that, because you're going to tracks you don't see on the regular. You see them. I see Atomic one time a year.
Right.
We see Waynesfield one time a year. Like, never seen Muller before. Went to Millstream, and that's not our forte. To me, we won it when we didn't get to race the 3 tracks I feel like we had the best notebooks for.
Sharon.
Fremont, Sharon, and Attica.
Right.
I mean, to me, there are the 3 tracks that I felt like we would have gained points on other people. Maybe not Attica, because Cap's really good there, but I mean...
You have won there before.
I've won there. We've won at all 3 of them. Fremont, Attica, and Sharon. Usually we're top, tier there, So, to still win and go to, Eldora, which isn't always my best track. Atomic ain't always my best track. Millstream's definitely not my best track. So, I just felt like we kind of overcame adversity.
Plus, you got a little bonus money from Speedway.
Yeah, Speedway cars.
Yep.
And the All-Stars, Napa. Yeah, so that helped. Instead of it being $5 grand to win the points, it was 10.
That's really good. So, that's Ohio Speedweek champion there. You come back. Now you're back on home turf. PA Speedweek. We rained out Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Go to BAPS. You probably already had your name wrote on the check.
Yeah, maybe.
How'd that go?
Good. I just feel like we're really good at BAPS. Just
simple.
I feel like if anything, I think I'm better at reading the racetrack than some people. I feel like I can read the racetrack really good.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell Jake with like 5 laps in, he's like, you need to run the top of 1 and 2, and I'm like, it ain't gonna last 30 laps. No point going up there and crashing and not making it 30 laps.
Right.
Might as well just be where you're gonna need to be in 15 laps.
Right. Set up for the rest of the race.
Right.
So you win BAPS.
But there's times where it's on the fence and you got to be on the fence.
It's true.
I mean, it's just that simple.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Right. I just feel like we're really good at reading the racetrack at BAPS.
I agree. BAPS is fun to race at, too, because it gets wide and you can use the whole track.
Yes.
Drive through the middle.
Yeah, ever since they put a guardrail in the infield, or, down the bottom.
3 and 4, yeah.
Both ends. It holds moisture down there, so you have a bottom option. You don't have people driving through the infield kicking all the loose crumbles out across track, making the track really, really dirty.
Yep.
Rocks laying out the track. The guardrail has definitely helped the racing over there, in my opinion.
I agree. Even though sometimes it looks like it narrowed 3 and 4 up, but the racing is better. The racing's better.
Yeah, it's not narrower. It just looks narrower because you got the height of the guardrail.
So you win BAPS. And then we go to Lincoln Monday. Now, we did have a lot of rain. They were calling for rain Monday. So we get to Lincoln Monday. Go ahead.
It's just slick, which we kind of figured. I mean, they tried. When you got Saturday rain out, they're trying to get the track ready. They have to obviously run it in. So, we've had this situation before with the Outlaws where, they get rained down on Wednesday when they're there, and then you race Thursday, or Tuesday, whatever it is. It's so hard from trying to get the track ready previous race. Then you got rain possibility Monday at Lincoln. Kind of knew it was going to be hard, and I just screwed up. In time trials.
Easy to do.
Yeah, it is super easy to do. After what I even said everybody at BAPS, it's so easy to be a half second off. Well, Lincoln was very easy to be a half second off. Lincoln's very flat on the top of the racetrack, and felt like I got over it in 1 and 2 the first lap, but then I went down to 3 and 4 and just hung and just entered too wide. So then the second lap, I decided I was going to try and drive through the middle of 1 and 2. Well, I screwed that up. And then I went down to 3 and 4, hit the bottom, and that was really good, but never had a good lap. Buried myself.
Yeah. You pretty much know when it's happening, you're screwed.
Right. So then we dug ourselves out of a hole in the heat, went 7th to 2nd. Probably needed a caution. Probably could have won the heat, gotten a redraw, but we didn't. Started 10th and just run 6th.
Not much passing.
Rubber down by lap 12 or 15 in a feature, and that's all she wrote.
Game over.
I wasn't set up for the rubber. I wasn't.
It probably wouldn't have mattered.
I wasn't very good in the rubber.
Yeah.
But we were good before that. We went 10th to 6th the first 6 laps,
Right.
and then that was it.
All right. So then that was
Monday,
Monday.
Tuesday rained down. Thank God.
Grandview rain out. Wednesday, Port Royal.
Just have trouble, car trouble. All the effort in the world there, but I'm just trying to figure out what's wrong with our car when the track's rough.
Yeah, so Port Royal seemed a little unusual as far as
Smoothness.
choppy.
Yeah,
I would say it's like a little choppy.
hasn't been very smooth.
Yeah.
It's been different. Flat around the guardrail in 1 and 2, or flat up top in 1 and 2. Got holes in it. Got a big hole getting into 1.
And we'll get back to them holes in a couple minutes.
But yeah, it's got a big hole getting into 1. It's almost like you go into the top of 1. It's almost like it grabs the floor pan and tries to rip it out of the car.
Like
Really?
they need to grade it
It's
or
almost
something.
like they need more clay.
Something.
We've been our motor plate between there and Hagerstown. I don't know where we did it, but we've been our rear motor plate because I don't know. You go in and it's like your bottom frame rails hit the ground so hard it stops the car.
Right. Good. The
It's
ground's
like-
hard.
Right. It's like you take your car and throw it in a pile of sand for 100 feet.
Right.
It just tries to rip the car. It tries to stop the car. Hurts.
So where'd you finish?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
8th. Oh yeah, ran out of fuel.
Oh, wait a minute. That was
Yeah, we started 13th.
Okay.
It didn't time good. We went 5th to 3rd in the heat. Started 13th. We got all the way up to 4th. Was racing for 3rd and run out of fuel. Ripping the fence.
Oh, that's right. I had my days mixed up. I was thinking about Saturday.
No.
Okay.
We were ripping the fence down.
So this was the night.
We were probably going to run 2nd. I mean, we were fast.
Okay. So now that I remember, I had my days mixed up. You run out of fuel on lap 20,
22,
3,
22, 23, yeah, something like that.
30 lap race.
23, I think. I think it was 7 to go.
You come in, you get fuel, you go back out.
2 laps later, we have a red for fuel.
2
Because
laps.
everybody else ran.
Everybody's running out of fuel. I forget who stopped. Maybe Whittle. Did he bring out the
Will,
caution?
Newton, and Macri ran out.
Macri was running out.
Macri spun out. Oh, wait a minute. We won't get into that.
Well, we can. So officiating here now. This has been the whole the whole thing. Should you have gotten fuel and be allowed to go back out? Should they have stopped the race then? Why did you run out of fuel?
There was nobody running the top harder than I was.
I mean, well, Macri was up there. I mean, and
But,
he ran out too.
But, he's not trying to pass cars, so he's probably not in the gas as hard.
Right.
I was 13th to 4th and not done. I mean, I'm running Chase and Whittle down, right behind him. Yeah, run out of fuel. And
Wow.
I mean, literally, I'm setting the car with the throttle on entry to 3,
Right.
and then wide open all the way around.
Track was fast.
If you were right, we were right. Our car
Yeah.
was really good.
So you run out of fuel. All the drama. Open red. Then everybody refuels.
Now they have a rule: you can't put fuel in under red at port
I think it is an
or
outlaw.
in the work
It
area.
is an outlaw
Right,
rule.
but it was not in the Port Royal rule
Okay.
book. Now it is.
Now it is. See, I had mentioned that in my video that night. I felt like it was in the rules for the Outlaws and the All-Star or high level.
Apparently, it's in Lincoln and their Groves, but O'Neill said it wasn't in their rules. Now it is.
So technically, you didn't do anything wrong.
No.
There you go, everybody. All right, so
And Stomley was the one who pushed me back off. So track
There you are.
official pushed me back off.
it.
It wasn't like it was just a push truck driver.
so you have an open red. Were you
And I didn't
pissed?
go back in my spot. They told me to go to the rear, which then we ran another 2 laps of caution around the racetrack, or lap and a half, whatever. Because there's lap cars, I'd be in front of the lap cars. So people
Sure.
who don't know, the reason why I didn't go to my spot right away is because they told me to go to the rear. Well, that ain't
correct.
correct. You go in front of the lap cars, which Anthony had lapped up to 12th.
Right,
Well, I don't want to go to the back.
right.
Then I have no chance of passing any cars back.
You might as well pull in there.
Pretty much.
Which they ended up doing that for everybody. Like Larson, he went to the pack of the lead lap cars.
Right. So then I got my spot, went back green 2 laps later. Everybody's running out of fuel.
Big time.
Which is a matter of probably a difference of 2.5 gallons, maybe 3 gallons
Maybe.
from what I had
Right.
left. Anyway.
Lots of bullshit. The leader spins out to, I guess, avoid the 8-car crashing. He gets his spot back, which I don't know what the call is there. I don't know how that works, but is what it is. Larson almost wins, but he doesn't.
He spun out. Went to the
Larson
rear.
spins out, goes to the rear, which, like Dane said, was like 13th, 14th at that time, I think.
Correct. And then he got back to second after at least 3 cars had
Run out.
dropped off the pace.
Right.
You got to figure he probably went back to 13th. Zerfoss flipped. I dropped.
He was ahead of Zerfoss.
But I'm saying Zerfoss was lapped.
Oh, okay.
Or not lapped. So, like, he would have been, say there was 14 cars in the lead lap, but you got to figure 4 cars were given to him. You got to
Maybe,
figure, because
yeah.
I dropped off Newton, Whittle, Zerfoss, or 4 cars. 3 round, fuel 1 flipped.
Right.
So, you restarted. Basically, he ended up getting from 10th to 2nd.
Right. All right, so I don't even know where you finished.
8th,
8th?
something like that.
Okay, so you got 8th. Could have been worse.
Tires quit.
So then the next night's Hagerstown.
Yeah. Wet, heavy. It rained in the afternoon there.
Hagerstown wears me out with the way the track is and the holes.
There's always some sort of hole in 3 and 4.
And getting into 1.
Sometimes.
So starting on the pole, right?
Yep, led till lap 26, and lap traffic didn't go my way. Simple as that. Thought we did a really good job. Car was really good. Sometimes you better be running second, I guess.
So you run second.
Yep, the Larson.
Larson wins.
Kind of like winning.
It is kind of like winning. And then next race is a big one, Friday night.
Yep. Just good. Really good all night long, really. Yeah.
Just whooped your ass.
Got lucky. Got my wing stuck back and found the bottom with that. Probably would have found it anyway because the top was so far around.
Right.
But
I forget who was leading. Oh, Brent
Marks.
Marks. Brent Marks. Yeah.
just was really good.
You were good. Yeah, I watching the race, I figured once you got rolling, you were probably going to win. 20,000 Mitch Smith Memorial.
Yep. Somebody says the 4th time I won.
4th time.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Pretty cool.
Back to port for Saturday night.
Smoother. Fixed our race car. Still had holes around the top of the racetrack. Really weird. It's really hard on the race car, I can tell you that.
Just as an observation, watching the race, a lot of guys struggle with the holes.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's like splotchy. Like there's a hole getting into 1, like on the straightaway almost, like where you walk across the racetrack. Mm-hmm. And then it's smooth all the way till like almost turn 2. There's a massive hole there. And there's a really big rut or hole. I wouldn't even call it a hole. A big rut in turn 4 right before the opening.
Yeah.
It would like pick the front end up off the track and just repoint you a different direction.
No good.
No.
So you
That's why Macri lost and Lance was really good. Lance was running below the holes.
Yep, he was good.
And he was good through the slick.
Yep. So congrats to Lance, all them guys.
20,000 win.
20,000 win thanks to
Somebody put him extra 5.
$5,000.
So it was 15 to 20.
And then Sunday Path Valley.
Track was fun. They did a good job. Smooth. Got to do something about people going through the infield. Dirty the whole track up in the heat race because people driving over the berm in 3 and 4. In case there's any racers out there watching, if you run through the infield, you're probably not going to be fast. Stupid. I can never figure that one out.
I mean, I can see putting your left front on the berm.
Guys had their left front inside the berm.
I
Guess where your left rear is going to be then?
I saw cars that had all 4 tires inside the berm going into turn 1. Think about that.
All I know is I've seen Jeremy Zerfoss's photos from 3 and 4. There's a lot of guys that have the left front inside the berm.
Yep.
If your left rear is trailing, think about where it's at.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to get any left rear driver grip? Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean,
think about
it. Anyway, and you just dirty the racetrack up. Anyway,
But the feature turned out pretty racy.
I thought it was, yeah. I mean, it's a little flat in 3 and 4 up
It's
top.
always been flat though up there.
Yeah, John said he was trying to get it even. He stringed it and everything, but it's still flat. It falls off up there. I'm not going to say we were going to win, but we were racing for a win, and another Australian lap car just got crossed up in front of me. And they spun, and I had no other option but to spin with them.
Was there contact?
No contact.
It was close.
Very close. I don't know how I didn't get into. I only had one option, and that was to spin to avoid and do a 360, and somehow I still didn't make contact. It's just a bad deal. I didn't get my spot back like Anthony did.
I kept going.
I did spin to avoid.
Right. He spun. Right.
He spun, so I spun to avoid. I should have got my spot back.
I actually thought you were going to go to the rear.
I wasn't even upset about the blend. They could have sent me to the rear.
The blend was very gracious. Them officials were nice.
Yeah, I don't even know where I came out.
I want to say about 6th.
That's where they put me.
I think, because I think there was.
I think it put me 5th or 6th.
And I think there was like 3 cars between you and I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, looking back on, I think you were 6th and I was like 8th or 9th.
Yeah. I was 5th on the restart.
Okay.
No, 6th, you're right.
I think you were 6th.
The 6, the 23, the 75, the 39M.
19.
And the 19. So I would have been 6th.
Yeah, and I think Ross was next, and then I was behind Ross.
Bacon.
Oh, Bacon was behind you?
Would have been. He passed me a couple laps.
Yeah, well, there was 2 cars between you and I.
But it is what it is. It's whatever. I mean, I wanted to win. I thought we had a chance to win. I was underneath Ryan Smith. Probably a little. I like Ryan, so it was probably a little nice on the slide job. If it wouldn't have been Ryan, probably would have been a little more aggressive.
But that don't mean you would have passed him.
Don't mean I would have passed him. I think I would have. At the end of the race, we were definitely faster, just nowhere to go.
Right.
That's half the battle of going to a place like Path Valley, where it is literally just 2 lanes. It's not wide enough to like split a gap somewhere. And until if there's 2 guys in front of you, one on top, one on the bottom, there's nowhere to go.
Right.
You're boxed in. You're at the mercy of another person's race. That part kind of sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's quarter-mile racing.
Yep.
It's fun. It's just
Big crowd.
huge crowd. Yep.
So that wraps up Speed Weeks, PA Speedweek. Overall, your assessment between the 2, obviously you won Ohio.
I just wanted to win races.
You just want to win.
I mean, everybody's worried about the points. I'm like, Ohio, I really wanted to win the points. I'll admit that. PA, there's so much, every race pays so much money. Just go win the races.
Right.
I told the guys going into Sunday that we had such a good week. It is what it is. I mean, Anthony got $2,750 more to win the points than we got. I mean, at the end of the day, we won a $12,000 and a $20,000 win show.
Right. There you go.
Could have been way worse. We had a good week. We had a great week.
Yeah.
Worst finish was a 6th and an 8th. Everything else was inside the top 5. So can't hardly complain.
We did a good job. So Speed Weeks is over. You got a big week coming up. Week and a half. What you got going on?
Knoxville Saturday, Fremont Monday, Eldora Wednesday through Saturday.
Kings Roll weekend.
And hopefully some sleep between then and there. I'm still tired.
Well, good luck. Thanks for taking part in the video. And you did a good job. Well, there you heard Danny's review of his 2 Speed Weeks, his Ohio Speedweek and his Pennsylvania Speedweek. Them guys did a hell of a job out there. Actually, they did a hell of a job in both Speed Weeks. It's a lot of work, a lot of travel, and of course, it was super hot this week. But congratulations to them guys and all that they do, representing the PA posse. Really, really good in Ohio. And good luck to them in all their future races. They're heading out to Ohio for the Kings Royal, and I believe the Fremont race, which I think is high limit, maybe a week from today, or a week, anyway, whatever day this is posted. It's next week sometime. So Kings Royal week. But anyway, let's talk about the BDR number 8 car in our Speed Week, although it was kind of cut short a little bit. Let's just start at the top, and Excuse me, I got a little bit of an itch here. I was just outside. But Friday night, the first Friday, we went to the Grove, and as well as everybody else, we drove to the Grove, knowing that the weather forecast was not that great. But we were committed. We were full send mode. We got new merch. By the way, like I just said, new merch, Dietrich.com. Check it out there. Two new shirts to pick from. Same design. One's a blue, one's a black. So check them out there. They look really cool. The theme of the shirt is fitting. It's kind of a rain theme and a sunshine theme. But we get to the Grove Friday night. It's starting to kind of misty rain when we were there. The track was pretty wet to begin with. A fair amount of rain leading up to Friday. We get there, like I said, we were already committed, so we just went. We never unloaded the car. It ended up actually raining pretty steady, not overly hard, but it kind of rained steady. So the Grove ended up canceling. Like I said, we pulled in, put the door down, hung out. We talked to some fans and sold a little bit of merch. We did not go over to the T-shirt area because of the rain. We didn't want all our merch to get wet. So hung out there and loaded up and went home. We actually went to town then Friday evening, had dinner. So it wasn't, it wasn't a waste of a night, let's put it that way. Luckily, we didn't get anything muddy. So Saturday rolls around. We're heading to Lincoln, kind of a little bit of a same forecast. They were calling for some storms to pop up throughout the day, and as the day went on, the storms increased. We actually left here in the rain on Saturday. It was raining pretty hard here at the shop, but by the time we got down to Lincoln, we even drug our feet getting there a little bit because we didn't want to leave here and then have them cancel by the time we got there. So. We get to Lincoln, the girls go over and set up in T-shirt alley, and you could see the radar, you could see it was coming, but we actually ran hot laps, and I think they got a handful of cars in time trials. It started to rain, and then long story short, they ended up canceling. They tried to run it in, but they couldn't, and it rained some more. And I mean, when we left and headed to the shop here Saturday night at Lincoln, I mean, we hit some torrential rain to the point where you couldn't even see the drive. Luckily, we're not that far from the track. We got home and it just poured down rain. So Friday and Saturday were rainouts. We go to Baps on Sunday and didn't have a terrible night. We passed as many cars as the hard charger. It's just he happened to be one spot ahead of us. We run the B main. Qualified good in the B, where the car was really good. Started 22nd, got the 13th, so that was a good night for us. Ended up getting a free tire, so that was great. And then we move on to back to Lincoln on Monday, and kind of the same deal. You kind of heard Danny talk about the track. They were anticipating possibly some rain. They pushed the show through. The track was dry and slick. Monday night, we ended up partway through the feature. Track was locked down. Wasn't much passing. We ended up breaking a rocker arm in our motor. So dropped out of the race. And that kind of affected the rest of our week a little bit. We did put our other motor back in for Wednesday. We went to Port Royal. We didn't time good. So we just didn't race. Didn't make the show Wednesday at Port Royal. So after that, we decided it was just best for us to take off the rest of the week up until Sunday. Back to a short track on Sunday. We knew we were up against it on the time trial side of things with our current motor we have in there. So we sent the other motor back to get it fixed. We should have it back here shortly. And enjoyed the 4th of July. Me and Heather did some stuff around Gettysburg, which is always fun. Get in there and see all the people dressed up for the holiday and enjoyed some fireworks. And we just had a good July 4th. And then turned around, went to Path Valley on Sunday. Always fun to get to a different track. Stay tuned for that video. I think it'll be a good video. Lots of action there. We timed in decent, qualified through our heat, and 14th to 6th in the feature. We were right there, the whole lead pack. We were all kind of, I would say we were all within one turn, between the leader and me. If you watched it on Flow, you probably saw that. So exciting time, 35-lap feature there. That's always nice to see John up there, a guy who owns the track, have a good crowd, a good turnout. They need that up there. They get a couple special shows a year, and Speedweek being one this year. So it was good to get up there. Our team did a great job. It was hot all week. Everybody stuck it out. Bob was there from Michigan and worked hard all week to help me out and get the car ready. And he ended up heading home when we heard our motor and decided we were done for the week. But Dwight, Mike, Tyler, as always, it's a good time. My wife Heather, she does a great job with all the stuff behind the scenes and all the YouTube footage. And with the merch, she did a good job. We had some helpers this week. Lauren was in from out of town. Gabby showed up, helped Heather with one night. And Ashley and Chris were there. Of course, Corey and Janet, they're always, when they can make it, they're there. They were busy farming, trying to get caught up on their farm work. So overall, I would say, the week was okay. Of course, we would always like to do better, but we know what we're up against too sometimes. And everybody gets along. Everybody does, has a good time. We'll put it to you that way. Enjoy seeing all you fans out there. I know there was a couple of days where a lot of fans came to the trailer, when it didn't rain. Even the couple of days where they were calling for rain, some fans bought pit passes, came into the pits. So thank you for stopping down and purchasing the merch. Like I said, checking us out online, BillyDietrich.com for some merch. And we're looking forward to the rest of the season here. We got some shows coming up. Clinton County's coming up, and then we're looking forward to that. And we got a couple of possible road trips in the near future, or at least one. The weekend of the Outlaws, when they come to Central PA, we're not going to go to the Grove and race with the Outlaws, but we may venture to Western PA. There's a couple of races out there. We might hit Tri-City on Friday night. I think it's a fast series race, and then swing over to Sharon on Saturday night. And then that Sunday, there is a couple of races. We have a couple options. We're not sure yet what we're going to do. We're kind of looking at maybe the distance home on Sunday is the same as the distance to Weedsport. I've never raced at Weedsport. Looks like a fun track. Danny always tells me how nice the facility is there. So we kind of got that penciled in. We got to kind of make some final arrangements here, make sure everybody can do it, make sure we got crew help, make sure everything's going to work. I know I got coverage here at work, and he said he's going to cover for me if we decide to do that trip. So stay tuned for the updates on that. Follow our social media pages, Billy Dietrich Racing on Facebook. We post a lot of stuff on there. So that's the update. That's the Speed Week update. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. By all means, comment below if you were at any of these Speed Week races, whether it was in Ohio and you watched any, or you came to Pennsylvania. Maybe you did both. By all means, let me know what you thought. Let me know what the highlight was for you. What did you think of the controversy at Port Royal? There's all kinds of stuff all over the internet about that. So I do read some of the stuff on Facebook, and I get a chuckle once in a while. But comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.